Subhash, after completing his ICS, that princely offer, he just refused to accept it and wrote back to his father that I'm not going to continue this anymore, though I've passed it, I stood forth, but I want to go back and to serve my country and to work for my mother's independence. So with that decision, he came back on 1921, met Gandhi in Bombay, which he didn't like at all. I mean, the conversation which took place was not much encouraging to him. Then he came to Calcutta and met Chittaranjan Das and decided to work as a disciple of Chittaranjan Das. He got the invitation. There was an invitation for the 4th Congress which was holding in Soviet Union. He, son of Chittaranjan Das and some other young youth, but somehow or other Chittaranjan Das went there to attend the 4th Congress, but Subhash was left out. But anyway, he carried on his work, and in the meantime, the year 1922-23, Abuni Mukherjee, the member of Comintern, Indian Communist, came to Calcutta at the request of Petrov, the head of that circle of Comintern, that go and have a look, that you have to find out like-minded people with whom we can work together for India's independence. Abuni came straight to Chittaranjan Das, but Das showed Subhash, the young soldier, who would be the great help to Abuni. Abuni came for a week to stay in Calcutta, and then the other cities were planned, but he left out all the plans and stayed back here for 11 months and interacted. They had exchange of views with Subhash Chandra Bose. And then after going back, the report which we discovered or unraveled in the Comintern archive, where Abuni is concluding his report, that I found a real soldier who will be of our great help, and that is the right-hand man of Chittaranjan Das, who is Subhash Chandra Bose. That was the report given by Abuni to Petrov and to all the members of the Comintern. So since then, Subhash was giving the lead to amongst the Indian socialist or Indian people who will be on the side, will be taking the side of the Soviet Union and will take the help of Soviet Union to liberate the motherland. Corroborating Public Record Office with the Russian archives, as well as few documents from Japanese archives, all together, everywhere I found that Subhash's ultimate intention was to go to Russia. Because in the beginning also, I just want to add once more, that in the beginning when he left for Afghanistan, Kabul, everybody knew that Subhash is leaving for Russia. But Russia couldn't give him the shelter. They gave only the transit visa. While transit visa, after that when he reached Germany, from there he wrote a letter of thanks to Molotov, to Russia. That is one of the very major evidence that he was so, careful about it. And when he entered Germany, the German Indian section, the German government's Indian section, was giving a note that be careful of this man, he's a Soviet agent. So I'm not giving all the details, but if we consider all these things, and if we find that all the requests Subhash started making, and lastly, when he came to know that they weren't able to win, something was going wrong in the northeast border. So he went to Japan, met the ambassador there, Russian Soviet ambassador Yakov Mali, and handed over his request to Stalin that now he needs the final help from them, because they have helped many countries who are struggling. And lastly, that is the new findings, what I find, that we knew that from Singapore and from Bangkok, when he was traveling, his last destination was Turin. But now the new things are revealing the fact that his last destination was Saigon. He stayed back overnight there, and from Saigon, the flight took place straight to Manchuria, the border of Soviet Union. So it's the thing he was having all through a connection with Soviet Union. And so lastly, he wanted to get the help from the Soviet leaders. Stalin gave him definitely shelter. And one thing is Somnath Lahiri, given the detailed story of Somnath Babu. For 4 days he went there in 1946. Then 1951 the letter of Bhupesh Gupta. And then on 52 the delegation went there, Dange, Rajeshwar Rao, Basapunaya, Ajay Ghosh. There Stalin had a long talk with Dange about Subhash Chandra Bose. And those details were kept with his daughter, Dange's daughter, who lives in Moscow. She never wanted to publish it or to disclose it. Later on, when all these researches were coming out, then she wrote, she took it, she tape recorded it, so that from there she published it, but with editing. A lot of editing is there. Anyway, I had a long talk with Shalja. She said, yes, of course, Dange was very close to Subhash, and the Stalin and Dange's conversation gives some hint that both of them knew that he was in Stalin's custody. Later on, the delegation of Aruna Asaf Ali, and a very big delegation when the Communist Party, 1952, very big one, who went to China and all. So Aruna Asaf Ali was the only person being selected on that among the delegates, that she is going to meet the leader. But Stalin, before meeting her, he requested Balabushevich and Dyakov, the two Indologists, to try to find out exactly what she wants. Then she said that I would like to talk with him about our Communist Party and all. Then Stalin told them next day that tell her that Communist Party of India should stay away from Nehru, because Communist Party of India has been totally converted Nehru's stooge. So one can make it out that how much Stalin used to hate Nehru, and why he never allowed, after our independence, our first Prime Minister of independent India to visit erstwhile Soviet Union and to negotiate with their leader. Though Nehru sent his sister there as an ambassador, but that also Stalin never bothered to meet her also, and wanted to, indirectly he gave an order so that she can go back. So this was the relation of Nehru-Stalin. And on 53, after Stalin's death, then when Khrushchev and Bulganin came to power, 1954 was organizing the thing, and 55 is the year when they are exchanging their friendship. Nehru went there after 28 years, and Khrushchev and Bulganin came to visit India. Everything was said and done, but 56 is the turning point of the Soviet Communist Party's history. That was the 20th Congress de-Stalinization. And 56 is in India, when Nehru stood in the parliament and said that Subhash Chandra Bose died in the plane crash.